Hey everyone, Shin Nefson here, welcoming you to the first week of the Let's Play Olympics 2, the horribly confusing return to numbers, rather. Coming in here and post commentary for week 1 because when I was trying to do live commentary, I couldn't get past stage 2 of this game. So let's jump into it. Here I'm just showing off the selectable characters in the North American version of Special Cybernetic Attack Team. We have Arnold and Sigourney. Don't know who those could be based on. In the Japanese version, instead of having a male and female character select, both characters, Player 2 was actually just a reskin of Player 1. So there wasn't even a female character in the Japanese version. In either event, in that game, their names were Silverman. Guys, to me, basically a cyborg, so kind of makes sense. And the second character was just called Sparks, which I prefer over Arnold and Sigourney. What are you going to do? Also, the Japanese version of this game is called Final Mission, a slightly more generic, uninspired title, but, you know, Special Cybernetic Attack Force. Or Special Cybernetic Attack Team, my mistake. Oh, I was playing... the only reason I made that mistake is I was just thinking about Contra Force. But, Special Cybernetic Attack Team is our game this week. Known in Japan as Final Mission, in Europe as Action in New York, which is even more a generic title. This is an interesting, not only horizontal scrolling game, but a vertical scroller as well. We have no control over the scrolling screen, so we kind of got to ride with it, which of course adds to the difficulty. You can't stop, you can't slow down, you can't be like, whoa, I'm not ready for that guy, and, you know, back up. You just... If you're facing right, you're shooting right. If you're facing left, you're shooting left. That's about it. You can gain a little bit of ground by trying to move left, but since the screen's constantly pushing you to the right, it's usually not that helpful. I will say this is probably my 7th 15-minute take on this. Normally I don't get a whole lot of time to practice or prepare, but I have today off, so... I actually had some time to put into it instead of scrambling for the last hour trying to make a halfway decent video, having never played the game before. Is pretty much my MO in the other games that I've done. I can't believe it's my 4th LP games already. It seems like just yesterday I stumbled upon you weirdos and I was like, I need in on this. But yeah, it's nice to be back for another competition. I haven't competed or been in any of Fat Kakashi's games before, so this will probably be interesting. I will say, I almost did not make this take. After about 3 takes, I switched to just not stop doing live commentary because I was just getting destroyed so bad. And we got the first boss coming up here. And I went to just, I'm like, alright, I can't do, I need to record the game. I'm getting too distracted trying to stay talking. So, for the life of me, I was just having horrible luck. I couldn't get past stage 2, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. And then I saw, I looked at everyone else's videos up to this point, and all of them got past stage 2, and I was like, son of a bitch. So, you know, I can't just put Special Cybernetic Attack Team down. So, I was like, alright, I'll man up for one more go. And that's what we're seeing here. This was actually my best take, so I won't spoil where I got to, but this is my best take of the 7. This is also my 3rd time beating the stage 1 here without taking a hit, which is why I was really getting frustrated with my bad luck in stage 2, because getting through stage 1 without taking a hit is not incredibly easy. So I'm like, yeah, alright, got through stage 1 without taking a hit, sweet. Then just get obliterated in the next stage. This boss was like 2 hits to dead in my 6th take, and I just got greedy and went for it, and one of those little gray orbs hit me and damaged me for the first time in the stage. I was so pissed. So this is one bonus point. I didn't take any damage in the stage and got enough points to get me an extra tick of life, which will come in very handy because there's an enemy in this next stage that I hate. Coincidentally, this map here is also unique to the English versions of the game. It wasn't at all in the Japanese versions. That map is very reminiscent of the first Contra game that had its little map kind of showing what the next area looked like. Interestingly enough, this is the easier version of the game, of course. A lot of games that came from Japan to the United States and Europe got pretty well nerfed in difficulty to make them more accessible, and this is no exception. We get 6 hits, or basically 6 ticks of life to start with, and once we lose those, it's game over. In the Japanese version, we only get 3 ticks of life. And on top of that, when you get hit, you lose your power-ups. That's why there's so many power-ups floating around in this game. For people that are playing, I wonder, like, why are there so many damn power-ups? There's like 5 on the screen at a time. Well, that's because originally you lost your power-ups if you got hit at all. Kind of like Castlevania Adventure, and we all remember, for those that did play that game, how positively frustrating that was. So yeah, we definitely got the easier path here, and I definitely appreciate it, because this game is honestly hard enough. These little rock serpent things that are right here that explode when you kill them frustrated me to no end in several of my takes, because a lot of times there'd be something on screen and their shot would randomly hit me, and then I'd hit them, they'd explode, and one of their chunks would hit me, so it was like a 2-for-1. So irritating, and the way they lunge at you like a chomp chomp. It's also interesting how many sound effects in this game are taken from Contra. The shot when you're hitting something armored that we just saw a couple seconds ago is from Contra. There's a lot of similarities to other games. Like the first boss reminded me a lot of a Gradius boss. The first time he came up on screen, I was like, shoot the core. Because it was just, that's what I felt like. I felt like an old Gradius boss, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, if you're going to imitate something, you might as well imitate something awesome. This hallway gave me no end of trouble. It's not so much these little guys that are flying around, it's the positioning of the laser cannons and those rock dudes. I call them rock dudes, I'm sure they're made of metal. And we're already at the boss, which reminds me a lot, like, it's very reminiscent of a Land Mola from Legend of Zelda. Or I would even accept, based on the texture, a comparison to the mid-boss in Meridia in Super Metroid. Although it didn't shoot missiles actually it did shoot stuff at you. Never mind, I take that back. I shoot little spread shots at you. This, I believe 4 of my runs ended at this boss, because I usually got to him with 1 point of life. One time I got to him with 2, I think. So I had no room for error, and this time I just happened to pull it out and get to him with a lot more life. So this is the first time I actually clear Stage 2, so going on to Stage 3 after this is the first time I ran through Stage 3, so didn't know at all what to expect. I was just happy to finally kill this guy. And there's Stage 2 of Special Cybernetic Attack Team. Going back to what I was saying earlier, Contra Force. I was about to mention how we hadn't, this was our first time not doing a Contra game in a while, and then I was going to go off on a tangent about Contra Force and other games, but just saying how basically the consensus was we ran out of good Contra games, which is mostly true. I mean, there's a couple of decent ones left and a bunch of shit, but barring the Game Boy games, yeah, there isn't really anything really worth playing in the Contra library. Well, this part's interesting. This is obviously a vertical scrolling part. Haven't had one of those yet, but since I tend to be better at vertical scrolling shooters, I actually did pretty well in this part. Surprisingly so. I found that hanging down in the corner here was pretty much the best strategy for me. Everything had to come to you. Anything that came from above, you had plenty of time to dodge. It was a pretty low-stress area to be in, really. You were able to see things from far away. Your little satellite guys, which I love. I mean, another basically imitation. I mean, they're like the options in Gradius or your little dudes in R-Type, but whatever. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. I mean, again, if you're gonna imitate something awesome and do it well and whatever. It's all good, but there's a button that you can lock those little guys in place, and wow, that was a bunch of static from something. Okay, don't know what that was from, but one of the bonus points, which I do get because I never pressed the button to manipulate those satellites, is to, I believe we can hit the button once and lock them into place, but if you lock them into place and press the button again, then you lose the challenge because you've manipulated your satellites more than once. And I'd rather have the satellites, they basically circle back and forth on their own, and I'd much rather keep it like that. It keeps your attack options open and lets them hit basically everything on screen. Only thing that, I mean, I get it, but it is kind of annoying how this whole vertical shaft is just the same screen, one screen, repeated over and over again. I mean, as I'm talking, I'm just staring at the little purple orb, and I swear I'm getting hypnotized just by looking at it. It's hard to zone out. Yeah, I normally don't check out other people's videos, but I had to see if, when I was getting stuck at the second stage boss, if I was the worst of the lot at that point. And I was, but I liked what I saw from a lot of the other people. Oh, I'm so sad that Gesh isn't going to be here. I miss his sexy accent already. That part took me a little bit by surprise. These guys just kind of warp right around you, and you have to punch a hole through and get out before they converge. Kind of interesting, actually. Probably my favorite sequence in here. It adds, I mean, we're already at a really intense speed going up, and it adds a little more intensity to the existing intensity for a double dose of intensity. Now we start slowing up, and it's funny. I almost take a lot more hits here because I've slowed down, but my adrenaline hasn't quite caught up to that point. So I'm still like, I'm still like twitching, like everything's moving really fast, but I'm not. Now this part, this is the one part I kind of wish I could take back, because like I already knew what the pattern was gonna be, and I just stood there and took it. But like, I really think I could have beaten this stage had I known a little bit more about the stage layout and the boss ahead of time, even though I only have 2 hits of life, because the boss itself doesn't really seem that difficult, as we're getting to it right now. I just make a really stupid choice right there. I should have just headed straight down and then there. It's just, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I only got about 16 seconds left to go. My thought was, what am I going to accomplish in the next 30 seconds? I mean, I'm not going to get back to the boss, so that's as far as I got. The boss is stage 3, but anyway, it's going to end up getting paused in a few seconds here as soon as I reach the shaft, so I'll start the farewells ahead of time. Thanks for checking out week 1. So far, an interesting start to the competition. Can't wait to see what's next. And I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in week 2. Have a great night, everybody.